Hi, ladies. It's Johnny here from ManSpeak. Monday night at 8:30 live. But tonight's definitely different than what's been done previously. And like I've spoken about on the page, tonight is a definitely new adventure for ManSpeak Live, in where I'm going to be interviewing another man and for them to give me the raw insights, in regards to topics of love, sex, relationship, and dating. And this will definitely be a fortnightly thing that will be on the page. And like I've spoken about in the video and during the week, I've been lucky enough to have my first guest by the man of name Andrew Eggleton, who is definitely out there in the business world. And like I've spoken about, he's an actor, TV presenter, and has definitely worked with a lot of famous people. So I'm definitely very curious and excited to have Andrew with us tonight. And quickly, Andrew's background is he's been single. Andrew's currently in his 40s. He's been single most of his life and has just recently started a new relationship. So probably the best person to talk about a bit more about that is Andrew himself. So Andrew, thank you for giving me the chance to interview you tonight.
Thanks, Johnny, for having me for a start. I'll try and behave. I've been in a bit of a silly mood today, so I'll try and behave. But I promise I'll be nice and honest. I'll be nice and honest.
And that's all we asked about the raw insight. So as long as you bring that to the table, that's what the ladies tonight want to hear about, the raw insights.
Okay.
So first up, like I've spoken about, you've been single, for most of your life. So, what normally attracts you, to a woman?
Do you know it's exes will shoot me for this, but it's never been about looks. I've never been attracted to looks. I haven't gone out with supermodels and I've been in that industry for so long, and I've never been attracted to that. What really gets me is someone who really can communicate, and definitely personality. But it's that ability to be able to communicate and allow me to be who I am.
Okay, perfect. And it's amazing that you say that, because I think a lot of women out there, from what I've heard, they always think the man goes for the look straight away. So it's a very good insight that you've actually given from that side of it, which is really good to hear.
I think so. I think that some do, though, right? I think some. I'm only throwing this out there, but I think some men do go for that trophy wife, or that beautiful person on their arm, that perhaps that you don't get that quality communication, one in the bedroom, but also in everyday life. Sometimes money can buy you that, or it's that just hasn't been me. That's all.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for sharing that. It's a really good insight, and I hope the women have actually taken note of that one. So it's really good. So in saying that, during your relationships with women, and you'll talk about the communication side of it, where do you find the communication, has broken down in the past?
Oh man, do you know what? I'm in my early 40s, and I'm only just understanding how different we are. How completely freaking different we are. Our needs, the amount we talk. And I love to communicate. I'm a pretty good communicator. I mean, it's kind of my job.
Yeah.
But for me, being from a guy's point of view, maybe there's appropriate times to have really good conversations, and I've noticed one of the breakthroughs I've had recently, and probably only in the last 12 months, really, is being able to communicate to my partner that now is not the right time to bring this up, or just being able to signal that, hey, what you've got on your mind is a good time now. I'm really open, and like my partner now is really good at creating a scene for me to be able to open up and talk, if that makes sense. So it might be a dinner, or it might be a wine, or it might just be a walk, and being able to go, hey, I've got this on my mind. I've been waiting. Do you mind if I ask you this question?
Yeah.
And it's a really nice way of doing it, because you're not getting put on the back foot, and it's also, you're not having that man silent time, which we do. We literally, men shut down and get into their fucking caves and just need time to depressurize and bring your energy back up.
Yeah. Do you feel women?
Major,
Do you feel women misread that a lot of the ways? Yeah.
Well, something that gets thrown back. And remember, everything I'm just saying here, I'm not being judgmental towards women or men, or this is just me trying to communicate the best I can and being honest, like Peter would. But I think when men go, hey, look, I don't want to talk about it, it's not like I don't want to talk about it at all. It's just like, now's not the right time.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and this is just from my experience, but women are very good at bringing up a topic that needs a lot of airing. It needs to really. There's a lot of airing to go there, and they bring it up at the really wrong time. You're about to go out for dinner, or you're heading off. For me, it would be like past. I'll be off to go and do a shoot that, was a big opportunity for me, and I've been preparing mentally, and then my partner would bring it up, something that was going on just before I got into the car and drove off to the set, and you go, why would you do this right now? Like,
timing.
Sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. And I think you've hit on the head. And I know I've spoken about this topic previously. It's about, I feel, women, they'll give you the time when you've done something wrong, but when you try and open up, the energy is not there for that same, the space is not there, and they shut down, and no wonder why men go.
But that's my fault too.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my fault too for not being. I guess I'm in a different place where now I can go, hey, I'm always wanting to communicate and take things deeper and air stuff. I want my partner to be as happy as I am, if not more. You know what I mean? Because that I get that back. But it's the ability to be able to communicate that if you want to get the best out of me, this is how I function as a human being, and as a man, or as Andrew. And find the right time, find that keyhole, or find that door to ask me, and I'll give you everything you need.
Yeah. I've got a couple of ladies asking some questions, so I have seen them, and we'll just ask a few questions towards the end to get your brain thinking a bit more. So, look, what I'm really interested in is, because you've been single for most of your time, up to your 40s, during the dating time, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, what difference have you found with dating and women in different periods of your time?
Mate, it was really simple. In my 20s, it was more play and a game in my 20s. I had no intention of being married. In fact, I let a lot of good partners through my hands, but in hindsight, in retrospect. But it was more about the sex. It was really about the sex, and it was also about dating was about ego and sex for me. In my 30s, it was a little bit confused because I was going through that stage of, well, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I should be looking for this partner. And in my 40s, it's a whole different ball game. It really is a different ball game. Dating now dating was very clear in the boundaries of what you were putting down. It's like, because you can't muck other women around at that later age.
Mm.
This is what I've found anyway. In that late 30s, you couldn't go into a relationship and just go, I'm just going to fuck around for a year and let's see how this goes, because there's things ticking, not just for the female, but also for the male. Because the older I get, the younger my partner gets. If I want to have children, and the younger my partner is, the less I might have in common with them.
Yeah.
So in my more recently, in the last few years, it's really been about, do I see myself with this person? And in my 20s, it was like, will I be with this person another 5 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in my 30s, 30s was actually a bit of a blur, to be fair. It was probably a bit of a mix. It was probably a bit of mix of being a little bit of a scallywag, but in that seed was starting to grow in the back in my mind of, hey, it's, you know, you're not getting any younger, kind of thing. And I always used to go, oh yeah, whatever. And now I'm in this point and go, what the fuck just happened? How did I get to this age?
In saying that, so I really appreciate you opening about your side of it. What if, to flip the coin around, how have you seen women different from the 20s, from, you know, when you've gone from your 20s, 30s and 40s? Like, you're saying now that you're in your 40s, you haven't got time to fuck around with anything, and they haven't either. What's probably some major things you've noticed from women in the 40s to 30s and 20s from their side of it?
Oh, bro, you know, the first thing that came to mind, and I don't know if it's a good metaphor or not, but screw it, I'll say it, is it's like in the late 30s or in 40s, is like, for me, women are like this a beautiful ripe fruit. That's the only way I can describe it. I know, but there's this beauty about them. They know what they want, and they seem to be, there's this maturity and this, they're able to have a conversation with less bullshit in it.
Yeah.
That's if you get the right, you know, with the right one.
Yeah.
And I look back, it's funny, and no, please no offense to any women who are watching who are in their 20s, by the way. It's just a time thing. But I look back at, or I look at young women now, again, no offense, but I wonder how the hell I could even have been with someone that age, because there's that maturity level that's just not there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder, I look at people in their 20s and go, how do you even having a relationship, knowing that what I knew back then, if I could go back and give my 25-year-old self the information I know now, oh my God.
Yeah, I know, it'd be the same, wouldn't it? I think we all could back. You know, yeah.
It's like, it's such a clusterfuck at that age.
Yeah.
Knowing the communication, what is love, how to give love, and a major one, probably the biggest one, is how to receive love at that age.
Yeah, and that's true too. It's a good point you put that, because, like, you know, it's okay to give it, but then how do you accept it in the end?
Yeah.
And again, you don't know what the woman's thinking, you know, what the man's thinking. And again, like you said, if you're going to mindset in your 20s where you just want to, you know, stuff around and who cares, but you might have met a woman who's gone, look, I'm looking to kind of settle down, you know, then there's where that's where you're miscommunicating already. You know what I mean? So now, you know, another question I would love to ask you, you know, during your time in relationships, you know, where do you feel?
I get scared every time you got to ask me a question, John.
To be a reality check, nice. Now, during your time in a relationship, where do you feel is the first point that you notice where the relationship starts to break down? Like, what factors does it start to click for you? Go, well, you know, something's happening here. And I know in your 20s and 30s and 40s going to be different triggers. But to give insights from a man's mind, what do you feel the first trigger that you see is alarm bells for
Yep.
you, not for the other person,
Yep.
for you, to say this relationship's, is maybe, on the brink.
The quality of the communication,
Yeah.
and how far I'm allowing the person in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so that for me, the intimacy is fine right up till day finish,
yeah.
but it's the what you're getting, which is kind of super important, really, is what if you go out for dinner, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
If you're sitting in a car, what are you talking about? If you're lying in bed on an early night or a Sunday morning, what are you talking about? If that communication is starting to wane or is getting bubbling just at the surface again, that's when I know things are in trouble. And it kind of for me personally, it really screws with my head, because I start to go, okay, well, I just need to let this person back in again. I just need to open up. But then you go, why am I opening up? Because this person's not. Well, I wouldn't be in this situation if I love this person enough. Do you know what I mean? It's that. So it's probably something I haven't got figured out yet.
Yeah.
Is when things start to get to that place, is how much do I have to work to get back in, or to be able to get both of us open back up again?
Yeah. It's a tough one, like you said, and that's where women.
I just figured out myself.
No, look, it's interesting you say that, because, like we spoke about at the start of the interview, it's about the communication side of it. And like you said, what attracts you is basically not the looks, it's the communication and opening up. And again, we spoke about, when men, they go into that cave. So for you, it's like, as soon as you go into a bit of a cave, that's a bit of an indicator for you, well, am I in the right relationship or not? Am I right by saying that?
Yeah, it is. I'm not excited by the phone call anymore from my partner, or I'm not looking forward to that phone call, or there's just that. It just feels like that conversation. It's like, fuck, I want to be stimulated again. I want my mind to be stimulated again. And it's, do I work harder in this relationship to make that happen, or do I call this quits now? Because you get faster at calling it quits, I think, as you get a little bit in this period, because you can't mark people around. Yeah, interesting. It's interesting talking about that.
Yeah, it does. When you talk about it, just kind of, some things light up, doesn't it? It's insane.
Yes, it does. Yeah, so it's spot on. It's kind of spot on, Johnny.
Yeah.
It's when you start to pull back, you go, okay, here's warning bells. But is this the same old scenario of wanting freedom or wanting something different, or am I just being kind of careless with the little gem that I've got? Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Here's a question for you. Now that you know what your trigger is, as far as, that you close off, or you're starting to close off, would you actually communicate with your partner that at the start, when things are going well, go, look, babe, if I start to close off or something, just be aware that might be some things for me to think about. So if that starts to happen, start to talk to me. Do you feel that might help, in the relationship, when you're in a new relationship, to communicate, knowing the triggers that you do have to it, for it to end?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. Look, Look, this, I'm sure my partner doesn't mind me saying this too. This would be the first. Only the last couple of relationships, to be fair, have I been able to talk like that, to be able to actually go, hey, look, I because you're my partner, I need to be able to really talk to you about anything that's going on. Yep. And right now I feel like I'm pulling back, and I don't know, as how can we deal with this together, or this is what's happening, or Do you know? Because then your partner can go, well, what can I do? How can I
Yes.
help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's probably, yeah. I mean, women are a bit different, aren't they? Because they're such good communicators with that stuff. And perhaps we're, maybe a little bit slow. Women have that ability to go, hey, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And that would probably hurt our ego more than us being able to go, okay, hold on. How can I help? What can I do? What can I do to make this better or to work at this? What do you need from me?
yeah. Have you felt like in previous relationships that at the start of a relationship you kind of go on, have feelings for this, this woman, and then you kind of go, hold on, I've got to step back a bit and really feel like, do I care about this woman or not? Do you feel like you back off for a couple of days or a week or so, have a real good think about it, and then get back to that person? Or do you feel like you just keep continuing on that same path?
But do you know what's this brought up this for me? And I'm not sure if it answers your question. You can let me know. But
Yeah.
in the last year, I've had this beautiful distinction now between someone who I just love because I just love who they are,
Yeah.
and someone who I want to be a partner with. Whereas in the past, I probably would have got into something or slept with somebody thinking that what I was feeling was and it was passion or lust or that this person could be a partner. But all I was actually doing was having an amazing connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
didn't mean being a partner at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I've been able to draw lines through very, very quickly now. Is going, no, this is just if I say I love you to people every day now, which I didn't used to do, and so I'm able to explain that to somebody and go, hey, look, I don't want anything more. I just want you to know that I love you. I've got your back.
Wow. Powerful.
Thank God. It took me a while.
Yeah, but I suppose some people don't get there, and it's like you said before. It's like a journey. Hey, in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you're a different person, and again, and I think he's nailed on the head. Women are big communicators. They just want to know what you're thinking right now, what's happening right now. What are you doing? Where guys kind of hold on, like I can only process one thing at a time, and that's the way we are. You can't throw too many things at us. You know what I mean? It's just about let me deal with what you just spoken about. Let me get to that point, and then I'll continue. Then I'll think about the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think for me,
you
go.
Johnny. No, you go. You think the men?
I think in the past, for my insights, not only for myself, and I'm in my 40s too, but we're at different stages. But I feel, men pull away. They kind of, because sometimes some feelings are overwhelming for them. Like they think, is this really what I want? Is this really something I want? They have to take they might take a couple of days to think about it, a couple of hours, a couple of days, a week. And then they might come back to that person and go, look, this is what I really want. I want to be with you. And I feel women, because we disconnect for that day or, the week that's it. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? So there's that, again, it's the whole communication side of it. That's from my view anyway, I suppose, for my studies and from a personal side of it. But I suppose, what areas do you feel that men and women actually misread each other?
Jesus. Yeah. One is what we discussed earlier is where men just want time out, and it's not that they're not caring or shirking responsibility, but we actually just do need some time out. I think we are programmed like that. And something that I misread probably about women for a long time was how much love they need.
Yeah.
You know, I probably something I didn't realize was how they can kind of just about soak up as much as you can give them. And then how much it makes them blossom. I don't know what that means, but my Italian hands. But how much that makes them blossom and alive is quite something to behold, and something I wish I had figured out a lot earlier. You know, I guess if you give them that love that they want or need, and treat them like a woman, you know, and that they're beautiful and that you want them. It changes them.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? It does.
It does. It does. I think in a day, like you said, they feel appreciated more if we actually open up to them and talk to them, and they feel like they're having some worth. That's what I've read from that anyway. From that side of it.
Yeah. That perhaps they feel more like.
I think the right man. Well, I think the right man will do that. I think when the man has found the right woman, he's not going to think twice about opening up, because it all comes back to what you said before. It's about the communication. So if you feel comfortable with that woman, if you feel comfortable opening up, then you're going to do it. You're going to say, I love you. You're going to want to text them. You're going to want to be around them. And the communication is going to be, and you're not even going to be thinking about it. You're going to be opening up. And I'm not a woman, but at the end of the day, I think women will pick up on that side of it. But then again, like you said, they soak up on that love. They want it, you know. And I've said this in the past in previous ManSpeak Lives, like I feel women, they want some type of title, you know, when they're with a man. You know, they want to be known as the girlfriend, or they want to have that engagement ring, or they want to have that wedding ring. You know what I mean? Where a guy just kind of is happy to be with them and to be in front of them, because they feel comfortable in communicating with them.
I understand.
That's what I've come to realise with from the differences with men and women, where women kind of want to move that one step forward, where they've got to let the guy catch up. There's a beautiful book, Johnny. Have you read The Way of the Superior Man by David Dieter? Yeah, it's a really good book, isn't it? It is a very good book.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good book.
Something that had me in that book was that it was a man's job for how far, use the words penetrate the woman's heart, how deep, how far he's willing to let it go.
Yeah,
it was the woman's. It was the woman who actually allows it to go as deep. So he has to have that trust and confidence to be able to go and be that open to go that deep. But it was the woman who allows it to go that deep. So allowing him in this. So that's a lot of that. If you think about that, a lot of that is trust.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Like
I trust this man with my heart in a way, isn't it?
And it's about the guy being vulnerable as well. I think as soon as a woman sees a guy being vulnerable, that's when they start to open up a bit more. I think once men start to show their vulnerability, and that might be at the stages after that. You know how I said before, how guys kind of will back off for a couple of days or a week, and oh my God, is this the person I want to be with? But when they do want to be with that woman and they do open up and they do be vulnerable, if a woman picks up on that, they should already know that guy wants to be with them. Do you know what I mean? But it depends on the woman if she actually gives him that space after backing down for a couple of days or a week. But I guarantee you, as soon as a man gets vulnerable, bang, like that woman should be saying, that guy wants to be with me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I see from a man.
I think it's choosing, isn't it? That he chooses me.
Yep.
You know, that's a pretty powerful word when you, or a sentence when you say, "Oh, look, I choose you."
Yep. Yep. Because you open up your heart. That's the vulnerability part.
That's yes. It's a
Yep.
brave thing to say. To be
100%,
fair, isn't it? It's a brave thing to say. I choose you. Out of all the other people and all the other women in the world, I'm going to choose you.
Yep. Perfect. I'm going to throw down a few questions now that a couple of ladies have asked, so we'll just run through them. I have to backtrack a bit here, so bear with me. Okay, the first one was from Kobe. She said, so if you don't go for looks, how do you have a physical attraction to continue to communicate with the other person?
Good question. I obviously have to be attracted to the person. You know, there has to be some kind of physical attraction. But I don't have a type. Without a doubt, I don't have a type, and I don't choose. You know, it doesn't matter if she's skinny or fit or a little overweight. Those things don't matter to me. It's what's going on behind the eyes, and I like good lips, to be fair too.
Okay, good. Thanks, Sam. Yeah. Another question was, what are the right type? Right, I think the right time to ask questions. So we'll speak about before. He's saying,
it's a good question.
Yeah, what's the right time?
Yes, the right time is it's just. A man, look, a man is really built around his purpose. I think a man without a purpose is a ship sailing at sea without the sail up. You're just relying on the tide. If I lose track here, John, you got to pull me back.
No, it's okay. No, it's so good, so good.
Yeah. So when's the right time? There's just things like I mentioned before about in the past, a partner would bring up something that needed a lot of time to talk about it. It wasn't like hey, let's just talk about this in the last 2 minutes. It's like, fuck no, it never lasts 2 minutes. You know, this is going to go up, spiral, and come down, and we're going to start communicating.
Yeah.
So it's not before you go to work. It's not when you get back from work either. It's not when you're having a really. There's just a feeling when the man is nice and open, and it's that ability to be able to also go, hey, look, I've got something I'd love to talk to you about.
Yeah.
When do you think would be a good time? Is now a good time, or can we talk about this another time? And you know, look, if a man is a decent communicator, he'll go, look, yes or no, now's not a good time, or can we do this tomorrow? Hey, let's cook dinner tomorrow. I think doing those little things like cooking dinner together or going for a walk together, or look, there's lots of, this is just for me, but there's lots of opportunities when it's right to open and talk about it, because during that period, it can, you know, when you have these communication breakdowns, it can go anywhere. It can be a small little thing we have to talk about, or it could be something really big.
Yeah.
And you need the time to do that, and you need the right headspace. If you're feeling defensive, or I think as a man, you just get down on your energy. It's like I just want to turn off, and men do. They turn their brains off. It's as simple as that. We just go. You know, it could be music. For me, it's the gym. It could be. I do a lot of free diving, and there's no mind chatter. There's nothing under the water. Yeah. And I love that, and it just reminds me that that's my place of I just time out. But my partner, and to be really respectful for her, she's got really good at just not always, but normally really good at choosing the right time.
Yeah, nice. It's good to have that, isn't it?
So it's a long-winded explanation to answer your question, but I think I kind of got there.
Good. No, you've done it well. Thank you. I've got another question here by Lee. She said, Andrew, if you find yourself detaching from a relationship, do you think I'm going to try harder, or just I'm done?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? Do you know what I'm still working that out.
Yeah.
Because it's and I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know what goes through other people's heads, and I don't know if this is specific to me
Yeah.
or this is a trigger or something that I use to kind of sabotage. So this is something that I'm working through with myself. Is when I get that feeling, I don't know. Do I work harder, or should I get out faster? And probably for a change, I'm probably working harder and trying to communicate more, and I'm being more honest with what's going on in my head. So when I'm feeling that way, if I feel like, hold on, I'm not feeling this, I'm starting to shut off. I'm more inclined now to talk to my partner about it and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. We need to communicate more, or take more time out, or more precious time, or yeah. That's a hard one. Sorry, I'm not answering that very well.
No, that's okay, mate. I've got to ask this question because a few ladies are asking this question at the moment. They don't know whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. So just clear it up. What currently is your status? So the ladies
I've been seeing somebody for a couple of months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And previously to that, how long were you single for? Sound like I'm on a dating website.
Yeah. Favorite colors turquoise. No, about before that for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time. Probably about 8. I think I broke up with the woman I thought I would marry in 2009, and it was only last year I met somebody, and then that didn't quite work. So I was pretty single for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time, and you get used to being single, and it's really hard not being a selfish bastard after you've been in a relationship with yourself for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was lucky enough.
There you go. Your space. You keep going.
I was lucky enough. I mean, if I can share this, I was lucky enough last year to meet somebody where we kind of had an agreement that we would become lovers and help each other become better partners.
Yeah.
And my job was my role was to help her understand better what I wanted as a man, and her job was to help me understand better what women want and how they're feeling and what I can do. So it was just those little things that there was just always communication, and she would just be like, it would make my day if you went and did X, Y, and Z now, or if you made me a cup of tea, or if you did this for me, and there was just so many things that popped up that I would never have thought about that. I would never have thought that stuff unless someone had actually told me. And I think that was a massive. I'm very lucky. It was a massive turning point in my life, really, as a man, knowing who I was, and what it showed me what being a warrior meant.
Yeah, and like you said in that book, Superior Man, it's all about the warrior, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. It's being going to be a man, then be good at it.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%. That's why I feel women want. They want that masculine man, that confident man who knows what he wants, is going to be that protector, but also has that vulnerability side of him as well, that is okay to open up.
Yes, and that's hard. I mean, Johnny, I don't know if you go into many male groups, but if I could, I'd spend my day in the female groups, because I prefer the camaraderie, the energy, and the communication.
Yeah, same.
And I don't, and it's very, I get a little bit jealous. Jealous isn't the right word, but I'm a little bit envious of the way that women have that camaraderie with each other. And I wish and hope that men are able to communicate a lot better in the future. And I think personally, for me, I'd love to mentor young men at some stage at another part of my life, because I think that's one of their big things is growing up not knowing how to share.
Yeah, you know what? I think I reckon you're on the money there, but I feel that comes down to the way that we're being brought up. I think, look, I personally myself, like I come from an Italian background, so for me, it wasn't always about opening up too much. You never really talked about a lot of things, but like, I'm a single dad of 2 kids now, and I encourage, my kids to open up as much as I can. So if we can teach the young kids these days to open up more, then we're going to change the next generation where they're going to open up a bit more. But I feel it's that generation that just don't open up, just feel like they've got to, suppress things in if they, again, we talked about that vulnerability side of it. They feel like they let themselves down, but they don't realise that. So, now let's hope the generation opens up a little bit more from that side of it.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a wild stab in the dark, but I don't know if the baby boomers or their parents, who the war generation, the men went off to war. I don't know if they used the word "I love you" much for their siblings or their, I don't know if they used it very much.
No.
I notice it, but I notice it these days as a lot of kids say the word "I love you," and I know it's something that's really worked for me, is being able to tell people all the time and just say "I love you," and the effect it has on people.
Yeah, it does. It's a massive effect. And you watch kids, you say it to kids, and you watch their eyes light up, and like I said, it's all about this teaching kids these days that it's okay to say that, and it's okay to show your feelings, in the right way.
You can still be as masculine and as tough as old, snake skin, man.
Yeah.
But you can still be vulnerable. You can be a warrior and still beautifully vulnerable.
I agree. Well, look, I have to thank you tonight for giving up your time. We've been on the call for 45 minutes, and I've had a couple of ladies actually really appreciate you sharing your personal life with us and opening up. And again, like I've said to the ladies on the group, that's what these interviews are all about. It's just getting the raw insights from a man, and I'm very honoured and proud that I've actually had you as my first guest. And I hope the ladies tonight on the group have actually taken something away from this, and if the ladies listen to this, that's not live, then look, don't be afraid to post on the page, any questions at all, and I'll pass them on to Andrew, and hopefully in his time he'll answer them. But again, Andrew, thanks, mate. I know. Back on it quickly with Andrew as well. He's actually in New Zealand, lives in New Zealand. So at the moment for him, it's like 11:15. So again, and that's why I appreciate even more. He's like of his night. So
I don't sleep very well.
Yeah. Big day tomorrow for Australia, New Zealand with Anzac. So it's it'll be good. So yeah. Okay, Andrew. Again, thank you. Again, ladies, thanks, mate. And again, just thank the ladies for hopping on the call tonight and asking the questions, and stay tuned another fortnight for the next guest. But from Johnny here, ManSpeak, and Andrew Eggleton, just have to say good night and take care. See you, ladies.
See you. Thank you.